Mental Gen?
Are we prepared?
I am always prepared.
As am I. But we today ask you, the audience, to be prepared. For this is our first chapter in what we like to call our epic fanfic readings.
What this means is, compared to the traditional fare of us sitting down and reading the odd one-shot every so often, and the very short, almost flash fiction-y styles of stories, this is a long one.
This story has 14 chapters and one epilogue, and all of them are between 3,000 to 6,000 words long. We're going to be at this for a while. More than likely, what we're going to do is every once in a while when we sit down and do our readings, we'll do a chapter of this, and we'll just gradually get through it. But yeah, when I mention epic fanfic readings, this is what we're going to be doing for a while.
And what better way to start than one of my co-hosts' personal favorites?
Yes, if I had to pick a favorite story of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fan fiction, this would almost certainly be it. Don't ask about my co-host's favorite fanfictions. His favorite is Rainbow Factory.
I regret nothing.
Alright.
Anyway,
the story we are reading today is
Beating the Heat, or Friendship is Kinky,
by Andrew Joshua Talon, an author who I very much admire. He's good. Like, he could be an actual published author if he stopped writing about My Little Pony. Andrew, if you're reading this, get a book out there. You're seriously good at what you do. And I'm a creative writing major. I know quality when I see it.
Anyway,
let it begin. Chapter 1. Quick disclaimer. I regret nothing! I lived as human dare to dream! Let's begin!
As the sun rose, Spike felt a warm, bubbling feeling of optimism fill him. He sat up out of his basket and stretched his arms out with a great big yawn. He scratched his scales and smiled as he licked his lips.
Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day.
Spike thought to himself. Already his mind turned to the possibility of seeing how radiant Rarity was in the sunlight of another glorious day in Equestria. He rolled his head on his shoulders and looked to the right.
Hey, Twilight. Hey, Spike.
Spike looked back ahead and jerked his head back to Twilight, standing scant inches away from his face.
Ah!
His shifting weight sent his basket falling onto its side, and Spike slammed into the hardwood floor. With a groan, he sat up and blinked at Twilight, still standing there with a wide smile on her face.
Hey, what's the deal? Oh, nothing.
Twilight said, looking away with a noticeable effort.
Just watching you sleep.
She turned back, still smiling.
You're really cute when you do it. Thanks.
Spike managed. Twilight nodded and headed off, trotting downstairs. Spike watched her go with a few blinks before shaking his head and muttering a few uncomplimentary terms for equines and females alike. That was okay, though. It was still a beautiful day. Spike got breakfast going for Twilight, as usual. What was unusual was, well, Twilight. Purple Unicorn kept looking out the windows, tapping her hooves and twitching her ears. Concerned, Spike checked through Twilight's own checklist of things to do today. So far, he didn't see any packages or imminent visits from royalty, so frankly, Spike was at a loss for Twilight's mood.
Twilight, everything all right?
He asked as he set her breakfast in front of her. His answer was her eagerly tearing into the food, finishing it in time Pinky would envy.
What? Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Twilight said.
I'm just a bit... Do we have anything big to do today?
Spike referred to the checklist again.
No, nothing.
He turned back to her, a bit suspiciously.
Are you worrying about your letters to Princess Celestia again? What? No, not at all.
Twilight said quickly.
Right, no crazy eyes.
Spike said softly. Twilight scowled, but relented when her memory helpfully pointed out his point.
No, it's not like that, but I don't know. I just feel so restless.
She said. She licked her lips.
I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you just need to get out of the library for a while.
Spike suggested.
You know, get some fresh air. You're absolutely right, Spike.
Twilight said with a firm nod.
I need to get out for a while.
She headed for the door and opened it with a quick application of her magic. She looked over her shoulder at him.
Coming, Spike? Yeah, sure, why not?
Spike replied. His fears had abated somewhat, but something else told him that keeping an eye on Twilight might be in his best interest. And hers too.
Probably.
Out among the ponies, Spike found his dread slowly returning as he followed Twilight's gaze. When you live with someone from, well, birth, you tend to pick up on the things about that other being. And right now, Spike was picking up on something seriously strange about Twilight, and yet totally innocuous.
Tell me, Spike, what do you know about Dr. Whooves?
She asked abruptly, as they spied the chestnut-furred stallion across the marketplace. Spike followed her gaze to her target, who was engaging in a spirited debate about apples with Applebloom, and back to the almost hungry look on Twilight's face.
He's kind of weird,
Spike confessed.
He lives in that tiny blue house of his that can never stay still. Apparently he's an inventor. An inventor, you say?
Twilight asked, her tone suddenly husky.
Yeah, a very intelligent one?
Twilight asked, her tongue running over her lips. Spike blinked rapidly.
Yeah, I guess. He also does a lot of running. How much running? How long can you run for?
Twilight demanded.
I don't know.
Spike returned, cautious, given the almost ravenous look on Twilight's face.
I just know that he's almost got a lot of it to do. I see. One more question, Spike.
She asked. Spike gulped.
Yeah? Is he single?
Twilight asked. Spike blinked again, very rapidly. He rubbed his eyes.
Well, he hangs out with that weird Pegasus sometimes, but they don't seem to be good enough for me!
Twilight said as she galloped off with a good doctor. Spike stared after her and found himself looking up at the sun. He gave it a good glower.
And here I thought it was gonna be a nice day.
He mumbled as he took off after his mistress. Dr. Whooves was enjoying his day trotting to the marketplace and pursuing the various stalls. Despite his various escapades that a cruder pony might call making space-time his mare, he bought space-time dinner and flowers first. He still found joy in the simple things in life, like the scent of delicious apples, the price of which he was haggling over with the young Applebloom. Well, I'm telling you, my dear, I simply cannot spend more than 2 bits per apple, the doctor stated. The little filly scowled up at him.
I can't take anything less than 4 bits an apple, mister.
Well, I could go as high as 2.65, but I forgot my scale back home, the doctor said.
You ain't being this difficult because of how things went last time, are you?
Applebloom asked flatly. What last time? The doctor asked.
In June, of course. Last year.
Applebloom said flatly.
Also, what's with your voice?
Oh, I had a cold then, the doctor said, sniffling significantly. Oh, very bad. He sniffed deeper, and his pupils dilated slightly.
Hello, doctor!
A breathless voice said near his ear. The doctor moved his eyes over to see a blushing, panting Twilight Sparkle. Twilight Sparkle, I presume? He asked with a smile. She was so close to the point he felt her warm breath washing over his neck.
Hello, Twilight! Hello, Twilight!
Applebloom called.
Oh, hey, Applebloom!
Twilight said quickly.
Doctor, I have a problem I need to resolve with you.
What sort of problem? The doctor asked, though he was getting a pretty good idea what kind of problem it was.
It's the kind of problem we need to solve in private.
Twilight panted.
Or maybe in public.
Yes. Well, the public part might be a bit problematic. The doctor said quickly. He began to slowly back away, and Twilight followed him. Applebloom looked between them in confused and angry.
Hey, I'm trying to sell them apples. This problem is more important than apples.
Twilight said quickly.
What's more important than apples?
Applebloom growled. Twilight looked in a random direction.
Look, free cutie marks. Where?
Applebloom cried. Whoa! The doctor cried as a telekinetic force yanked him away. He was floating in front of Twilight as she ran out of the marketplace. He gave her a nervous smile as she pretty much drooled at him. Oh, now wait a minute, Twilight Sparkle. I'm pretty sure there's been some miscommunication here.
Are you single?
She demanded. What?
Single. Are you unattached? Are you currently mounting any pony?
She demanded. The doctor coughed. Well, no, not at the present. Twilight dropped him and turned around.
Well then?
The doctor covered his nose. Well, the thing is...
By Celestia's shapely Sorry. By Celestia's shapely flanks... Mount me already!
Twilight roared. Salvation came in the form of a blast of flames that shot between them, disrupted the enticing scent of Twilight just enough for the doctor to regain his senses. He backed off as Spike tackled Twilight and quickly trussed her up in rope.
Hey, let go of me!
Spike shoved an apple in Twilight's mouth, and the glare she shot him was every lyric of the Death Riders power metal band Charge and the Blood Spikes that are also on fire, now available in stores. Quick thinking, though it doesn't solve the problem of her attractiveness, the doctor said. Makes it worse, really.
Watch it, she's technically my mom.
Spike growled. The doctor raised his eyebrows. So she's open-minded then?
Not like that!
Spike said flatly. He turned to the doctor.
Do you know what's wrong with her?
Well, I can say with reasonable accuracy that she's probably in heat. The doctor said. Just a guess, mind you.
Heat?
Spike said, confused. You know, when she goes into estrus, wants a stallion to put a bun in her oven. The doctor explained with a slightly nervous smile.
What does this have to do with baking?
Spike asked, mystified. The doctor sighed and motioned with his hoof for Spike to come closer. He bent down and whispered quickly into Spike's ear. The purple dragon's eyes became very wide.
Oh! Ew!
He said with a grimace.
That means when she was watching me sleep, she... Ew!
I am curious as to why you reacted so strongly to my earlier implication that she did it with a dragon. The doctor said.
It wasn't to that, but now it's even worse.
Spike groaned and rubbed his temples.
Great, just great. What do we do?
Well, the doctor said carefully, I wouldn't be adverse to, helping her out.
Then why were you so reluctant to before, huh?
Spike growled. Do you want to see me taking care of it with her in public? The doctor asked flatly. Spike grimaced.
Good point.
What did she do for her previous heats? The doctor asked. Spike rubbed his chin.
Well, I'm not sure. She's never acted like this before.
Hang on a tick, the doctor said. I'll get some information. He galloped off quickly, leaving Spike to stare after him.
Hey! Hang on! When are you going to be back?
Hello, back!
Huh?
Spike turned and looked over his shoulder. There was the doctor again, and right behind him, the chestnut stallion sniffed. Sorry. Had to go catch a cold, which was really quite fascinating. Also had to visit a certain filly about some apples. Anyway, you were saying?
I'm not even gonna ask.
Spike sighed.
Okay, how come she's never acted this way before?
Well, from what I now know about her. Now? The stallion nodded as though confirming his moment's nowness. She spent most of her time in the library, studying, training, writing.
Yeah?
A lot of stallions around.
Oh, I get it now.
Spike said.
This is our first seat in Ponyville, and because there's so many stallions around...
His eyes widened.
Uh-oh,
indeed, the doctor said with a nod.
So, what do we do?
Spike asked again. Frankly, I'm not sure. Doctor said with a frown. I mean, I've been around, but my advice won't carry the same weight. I can't help thinking we've forgotten something.
What have we forgotten?
Spike asked. An apple hit him in the back of the head thanks to telekinetic force. Ropes flew around the doctor and wrapped around him, sending him to the ground. Both males cried. They both looked up to see Twilight standing there free, with glowing eyes and a wide smile on her face. Ah, yes! Magic unicorn. Totally forgot. Doctor said sagely. Won't forget next time.
If there is a next time!
A dress does not become a disaster all at once. Like a frog in a kettle, the temperature must rise slowly and inexorably for it to boil to death, and it must involve failure at multiple points in the process of designing, cutting, and knitting. Rarity, however, could see disasters coming, and the frustration would only come from the fact that she had to carry on despite it being a disaster.
What was that about the frog?
Good point.
You know what? Never mind.
No, what was really frustrating was a dress whose outcome would stubbornly stay elusive. It sounded strange, but many dresses, despite how much effort she put into them, would keep their true form hidden. A fabric that didn't cooperate, a stitch that didn't quite mesh, a gem that stubbornly refused ideal placement. She grunted and set down her implements. She leaned forward on the work table, resting her chin on her hooves, to glare at the disparate elements of fabric and gems that littered the fine wood surface.
Aren't you stubborn?
She said, almost accusingly at the fabric. It didn't respond, not that she really expected an answer. Divine revelation was not among her many talents. She slid her hooves off and trotted over the kitchenette she kept in the back, and set some tea to boil. She watched it, meditating on the sounds made by the rolling water. Perhaps it would help her clear her head. And failing that, there was always the tea. The doorbell rang, and Rarity started.
A customer!
She said. She smoothed out her mane and trotted out to the front of the store. She put on her best smile.
Welcome to the Carousel Boutique. How many? Oh, hello, Big Mac.
Rarity greeted the large stallion.
Hello. Hello, Miss Ryder.
Big Mac replied with a smile. Rarity returned it. The two ponies stood there for a while, neither saying anything, just smiling.
Can I help you?
Rarity asked at last.
Yup.
Big Mac said, reached into his saddlebag and pulled out a sad-looking, beat-up gray doll.
Oh, that old doll's one of Twilight's.
Rarity said.
Wait, sorry, I did that wrong. Oh, that old doll of Twilight's.
Rarity said.
Would you like me to fix it for you?
Big Mac nodded.
Yup. Well, certainly. It won't take more than a moment.
Rarity said with a warm smile. A smile that got warmer as she took Big Mac in.
You know, I never noticed how rugged he really is. His fetlocks are unshorn. How scandalous.
Her cheeks turned red and she bit her lower lip. She lifted a hoof to her mouth.
I can smell him from here. I could just eat him up. Miss Ryder?
Big Mac asked. Rarity blinked. She saw a pair of large eyes staring back at hers and felt Big Mac's breath from his nostrils washing over her face. She coughed, turning away with a deep blush.
Sorry, I thought I saw a log in your eye, but it turns out there's nothing. I'll be right back.
She galloped off with the doll into the back room and slammed the door shut behind her. Big Mac blinked and stared after her. He sniffed the air and blushed himself.
Nope,
he said, shaking his head. Rarity pressed her back against the door, great heaving breaths filling her lungs as she tried to calm down.
Oh no, how can this be? It's too early,
She wailed.
Oh no, this is the worst thing ever!
She summoned her couch and fell atop it.
You said it wrong.
She summoned her couch.
No, I'm talking... You were supposed to say it like this. Of all the things that could happen, this is the worst possible thing!
Semantics.
Whatever.
She summoned her couch and fell atop it, holding a hoof to her forehead.
That's better. I'm so very fertile, and he's so... virile.
Virile.
Sorry, virile.
Rarity rapidly shook her head.
No! He is very nice, Rarity, but you cannot go and have your way with Big Mac. It would be improper.
Okay. Her horn lit up, and slowly the doorknob began to turn. Rarity glared up at her horn, and its glowing ceased.
Besides, having falls at my age would absolutely ruin my figure.
She huffed.
Although it would make me more mature, refined, give me that maternal glow. So many things I could knit for that. No!
She shook her head furiously again.
No!
Rarity rushed to her sewing machine, selected the proper thread, put on her glasses, and went about planning the repair job.
Right, get job done, give it to him, and a nice session at the spa.
She decided aloud. She activated the sewing machine and watched the needle punch holes through the fabric. She bit her lower lip.
Okay, a nice long session at the spa.
She mumbled. Twilight's library was usually a scene of tranquility and peace. However, if any ponies were eavesdropping at the moment, they would undoubtedly overhear a furious struggle going on that would set many a tongue wagging.
Here's a question. When has it ever been peaceful in Twilight's library?
Good point. True, Twilight and her friends were always a subject of rumors, stories, and outright fabrications.
That's putting it lightly.
That came with the territory for the saviors of all pony kind, but this would present something far different from the usual gossip concerning mad science and unleashing horrors from beyond the stars that usually constituted these rumors.
So you're saying in the continuity of this story she summoned Cthulhu? Okay.
Sweet.
Doctor! I don't know how much more of this I can take!
Spike said. He was smacked with a broom.
Ow!
The doctor, for his part, was reading through several volumes on female equine physiology and sexuality, magic, and the elements of harmony all at once. On the table in between the books was a silver and blue pen-shaped object.
Doctor Who fans should immediately know what that is.
Hold on, Spike. I'm not even through the first half. Did you know that it was Green Sage the Pure who wrote the Pony Sutras? Huh! I know who I'm going to visit next trip.
Doctor!
Spike wailed as he was thrown via telekinetic force into a bookshelf. Doctor looked up just in time to see a purple blur tackle him. Oof! They slid on the smooth, well-kept wooden floor into a table, the crazed mare atop him. Twilight, really? This is not the best.
What's the problem now?
She demanded.
I'm hot and willing and I saved the freaking world several times. What could possibly be unattractive about me?
Well, we don't really know each other very personally, the doctor said delicately, thankful for his cold. Without it, her pheromones would probably render him just as crazed as she was.
So you're being chivalrous.
Chivalrous.
So you're being chivalrous.
Twilight asked in a nearly lucid tone. The doctor smiled and nodded quickly. Yes.
Don't care.
Twilight growled. She kissed him deeply. The doctor waved his hooves frantically. And, with a quick roll, was able to put her on the bottom.
Ooh, taking charge.
She practically purred. Not exactly. Oh, look, a big shiny thing!
Huh?
The doctor cried, pointing above her.
Huh?
Twilight asked, looking up. The doctor galloped across the room and frantically searched through the books. He grinned in triumph as he held up his silver and blue tool and turned it just in time to see Twilight stalking towards him. Now, see here, Twilight Sparkle. I'm awfully busy trying to help you. After all, he didn't think Spike would appreciate him helping his mother figure right in the library. Besides, this heat was rather frightening in its intensity.
You can help me in a much better way right now.
She panted. If you just give me a moment. The doctor tried again. Twilight broke into a gallop, got to spring for the dock, pounced the doctor's side. Oh, bloody. He pointed the pen-like device at her and it glowed and buzzed, both loudly. Twilight gasped and collapsed, twitching as she let out several gasps and cries. Spike woozily staggered over the doctor. He watched Twilight writhe and looked up at him.
What did you do to her?
I reset my sonic screwdriver to induce certain reactions that should minimize the effects of her heat, at least for the time being. The doctor replied, as Twilight moaned loudly. Spike gave the chestnut stallion a deadpan look.
You sonicked her.
Yes.
Sonic me again! Sonic me again!
Twilight cried deliriously. The doctor face-huffed. Spike, tie her up again. I've got a lot of reading to do still.
Why can't I read and you tie her up?
You want me to sonic her then?
No. You said that.
You want me to sonic her?
You want to sonic her then.
You want to sonic her then?
I'll get... Wait. I'm gonna need more rope. Okay, I'll say it correctly. I'll get more rope.
The dragon mumbled. End of chapter 1. Author's note, and this is where I go to pony hell.
Mr. Talon, you're not in pony hell. You are it. Wait, what's the circle? Is there a circle in hell for creativity?
No. You sit atop the great Olympian mountain, surrounded by the muses who play their harps and lyres, inspiring the words of such creativity. Or, wherever people sit when they write.
When I sit and write, it's usually just in my room, and usually metal's playing. But either way, that is chapter 1. We will continue with chapter 2 when we have time.
Yes. And we will not give a full rating until the end.
Of course. One cannot rate a story until he's gone through all of it.
Yes.
No, seriously, you can't judge anything until you sit through it and actually give it a chance. This is why I get mad at all those idiots who dislike the new Devil May Cry when they haven't played it yet. Seriously, that game is awesome, all you stupid fanboys. You know what?
Enough.
You're right. This is not the time and place for that
More
sort of
comparatively, it's like watching a film, and then rather than giving the full movie a chance, you decide to walk out in the middle of it and give a half-assed rating about it, Caligula via Roger Ebert, rather than watching the entire thing.
And then you post angry comments on YouTube.
Yes. Well, semantics. But, anyway,
Yes.
we hope you have enjoyed this reading of Chapter 1, and look forward to more chapters appearing in the future.
Yes. And Mr. Talon, if in the slim chance you happen to be watching this, keep being awesome. I know you're busy, but still, keep being awesome. Good day.
Good night, and good luck.